everybody. Our first guest tonight is an Oscar-winning actress and producer you know from films such as Monster, Atomic Blonde, Bombshell, and Mad Max Fury Road. She stars next in The Old Guard 2, which premieres on Netflix July 2nd. Let's take a look. Please welcome back to the show, Charlize Theron, everybody. Hi, Charlize, so nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
New York kind of feels the way Mad Max Fury Road looked today. Has a real, like, hot, oppressive Mad Max vibe today.
It's true. I saw a couple of war rigs.
Yeah, we tried. We wanted to make you feel at home, so we, yeah. This is a very exciting film. It's very nice to have the sequel to it. But this is 5 years ago you made the first one?
Yeah.
It's very intense, very action-oriented.
Yeah.
I know personally I don't do anything, and yet my recovery is harder every year. How was it for you?
It's the same. It's hard. Yeah.
I mean, you must just like wake up like so sore.
It's not pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are
Thank you for your honesty.
There are days where it's definitely. I had elbow surgery 3 weeks ago. So.
How did you hurt your elbow?
I had a compressed nerve.
Okay.
From I think being yanked into a steel bolt.
Okay, that'll do it. Yeah.
But I might be wrong because my memory's going too.
Oh, that's great. That's a nice combo, because I think if you know, because then you actually probably every night you go to bed and you forget that you're going to wake up sore.
Exactly. It does work. I feel like I've had surgery every single time I've been here. It's really embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's either
It
really
is embarrassing.
badass or it's embarrassing.
No, wait, we think it's badass. We're giving you full badass points.
Thank you.
You know, and one of the things, of course, your character, Andy, carries around an axe. And we talked about it for the first one. They recommended you carry the axe, you know, and it's a rubber axe, but they carry it around to get comfortable with it, so you didn't, you know, look like an actor who's just holding an axe for the first time.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was weird because you were a celebrity carrying an axe around. Like, you know, you're the valet saw it in your car. That wasn't good, you know? You're bringing an axe into restaurants. And,
Yeah.
And that's a real stars are not like us when you're... But did you prepare with the axe again?
Yeah, it's better. I mean, it's a little bit like, you know, the more time you can spend with props, I think it's always better.
Yeah.
It's like, do you remember back in the day when we used to smoke, like actors who don't smoke and they just like...
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, that really took me out of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's like the new version of that. Not smoking, but working with an axe.
You know what the crazy thing is? Axes are still safer than cigarettes. I would still rather my kids were like, I want an axe. I'm like, as long as you don't smoke.
100%. 100%.
I also want to ask, this is a different haircut in the second one, and it's a very chic mullet, and I just want to give you credit, Charlize, because, and you know, I know from the first film, you know, these characters are immortal, and I was thinking when I saw you had a different hairstyle in this version, if I was immortal, I think the thing that would be the most fun would be just trying out different haircuts.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
We just need to make more movies so that it actually makes sense.
But you had this was not a prop mullet. This is a real mullet.
No, that's a real mullet.
You had to be around friends and family with an actual mullet. And so I'm wondering, you know, I know you have a loving family. You got a couple of kids. How do they feel about the mullet?
I have 2 girls, and they're mostly very girly. And they think of me as a princess.
Yeah.
And they want mom to like look like a princess.
Yeah.
And I kind of veer more towards the kind of edgy, more, I mean, not today, but more masculine, kind of like jeans and t-shirt. And when I go to school functions, my daughter's always like, Mom, can you please wear a dress? But they came back from school. I was in my bathroom and I was getting it cut. And it had been already colored. And I just remember looking over and they both came into the room really excited. And then they just both froze and they just went, and one started crying.
Yeah.
Like, one literally started bawling her eyes out. And I had to actually sit down with her and say, like, we all get to be who we want to be.
Yeah.
And right now, Mom wants to wear a mullet.
Yeah.
I don't tell you what to do with your hair.
Yeah.
I still don't like it.
Yeah. Like, there's not a single princess with a mullet. I will say my dad, who still to this day has a mustache and had a mustache the entirety of my life, one spring break, when we were probably about the age your kids are now, he came out of the bathroom and he shaved his mustache as like, hey, I want to look young. And my brother and I both screamed because we literally thought it was an intruder. We were like, God, I mean, that's how different he looked. So
yeah,
at least
weird.
you still look like you with a mullet.
No, it was a big shock. I mean, it took me a while to get. It's also one of those hairstyles you have to kind of get it right because if like anything else, you can kind of like mess up a little bit. But a mullet, you cannot mess up because already everyone's like, it's a mullet.
Yeah.
So you gotta.
You were like,
right.
no, don't worry, I got the best mullet person to cut it. I will say, I think your mullet in this is slightly better, but I'm wondering if this is the inspiration. You did a fantastic sketch at SNL in 2014 with Kate McKinnon, and that's another mullet. And so maybe it turns out that what we're getting down to is you love mullets.
Oh my God, this was so fun. They had real cats for this. It was so great, like a bunch of kittens. And sometimes we had to like replay the same kitten.
Oh, right. Sometimes you're like, we want 8 kittens for the sketch. And they're like, we'll give you 4 and you just rotate them.
Yeah, I think the mullet looks better now because I've had so much practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. They actually were like, you know what? They were like, I think she can pull it off because they saw this sketch and they're like, she's one of our finest mullet actors. I have a lot more to ask you. We'll be back with Charlize right after this. We're back with Charlize there, and you're not just like someone who disappoints your children with your mullet. You also provide wonderful opportunities for them and experiences. And I heard you talking to Jimmy Fallon that you took them to see Dua Lipa.
Yes. Which, by the way, like, I'm just wondering what I need to do in order to get an invite for some day drinking with you. I feel like.
Do you think you could do it?
I saw you doing it with her.
Yeah.
And I get a little jealous because it's my thing.
Oh.
Like, I'm a really good daytime
Okay, because this isn't like, we go at it hard. This isn't one of your action movies where like stunt doubles come in.
I'm sorry, but you do not go at it hard. That's why I want to come.
Charlize.
Yes.
Charlize.
Yes.
Is the gauntlet thrown?
Yes.
Is the gauntlet thrown? You are going to
yeah.
live to regret this moment, let me tell you that.
Maybe you are.
Oh my God, this is, you know what?
Yeah,
this is when we're both going to want to have a short memory.
But
all right.
yes, I did take them to Dua Lipa.
Okay.
And she's amazing, and she's great at daytime drinking too. I don't want to take that away from her.
Yes.
Yeah, it was fun.
And another someone I'm a huge fan of, Renee Rapp.
Yes.
You were sporting some Renee Rapp merch the other day, and this is, I'm sure you're a fan as well, but she is going to be performing. You have an incredible charity, CTAOP. And she's performing on Saturday. And how many years have you, when did you start your charity?
18 years.
That's amazing.
It feels like yesterday. Thank you. Yeah, it's we're primary, I mean, we focus on youth and young people and keeping them safe in Southern Africa. We're mostly grant givers. We work with on-the-ground grassroots organizations who are really the ones doing all the work. They really know how to solve the problems of the communities that they live in, and so we just try and facilitate as much as we can in order for them to succeed in doing that. But we're having our block party this Saturday, and it's always strange when you have to like reach out to people and kind of like explain like what it's for, and we're not gonna give you any money, and like will you do this favor? And she was absolutely incredible. I mean, she just straight up, she was like, I'm there, whatever you need. I met her before. She came to a party that I had. I'm not that cool. I throw one party a year. I don't throw parties. And the one party I throw a year, she came, and she was really fun. She's a really awesome girl.
She's a very fun person. Now I have a lot of questions. By the way, you're like, I can't believe you didn't invite me day drinking, and now I'm finding out about this party.
You're a New Yorker.
That's true.
If you would fly out.
Do you have, not go to the details, but do you have it the same time every year? Yes. Or are you like a once a year?
It's a Christmas party.
Oh, that's great. Are you somebody who has like party stress when you have people over, or do you feel like you have it down now?
This is the only one I don't, because we figured it out. It started really small, and now it just became, I sound like such a douche. It's become a really cool party. Like, it's really fun. We now dress up. We have themes. Like we had like a mobster vibe last year.
I've never heard anybody who has a theme for a Christmas party. Like it's amazing that Christmas isn't enough.
No, we get dressed up and we gamble and like it gets dirty. It gets dirty.
This is insane. Everything you're telling me about this is moving farther away from what I expect a Christmas party to be.
I know. You know what? I'm actually not that old.
That's very fun that you do that. I also want to say, just to give you, you know, it's amazing you've been doing this for a long time, but obviously we're living in this era now, you know, where less and less can we rely on like sort of this government to help out with the sort of things you're talking about, which is grants to a part of the world that needs them most. So I just want to say, you know, I applaud you, and we're very lucky to have people like you who are picking.
Thank you. It's rough. It's really sad because it's 1% of the budget.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. It was not a lot, and it was a nice way to show people you care, and even though maybe we're not doing it, you know, from the top down, it's very nice. That you and your organization.
Wait, we're not? No, I'm joking.
You go back and watch the first act. It is such a delight to have you here as always. Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do. Congrats on the show. Charlize Theron, everybody, The Old Guard 2 premieres July 2nd on Netflix. Stick around, we'll be right back with Jason Manson.